Soul Game Saga Part 3 of Infinity. Remember, a game is to manipulate a situation, typically in a way that is unfair or unscrupulous. And right now, currently, I desire to manipulate a situation in which is moving in the wrong direction to a situation in which is moving in the right direction, which is the point of this soul game here. Moving forward. So, let's bring the spirit into the reality and let the soul have its rightful internal kingdom once again. Once again, I'll say it again. Let's bring the spirit into the physical reality and let the soul have its internal kingdom again. For through the spirit, the soul breathes. Through the spirit, the soul sees. Through the spirit, the soul eats. And through the spirit, the soul believes. Why didn't I say grieves or something like that? And to make all four of those words rhyme, I just wanted to say eats. Because through the spirit, the soul eats. Through the spirit, the soul believes. Moving forward. So, in the previous Soul Game Saga, Episode 2, or Soul Game Saga 2, I talked about Cosmic Yahusha's Transcendence Plane, or Transpersonal Plane, or Transperson Plane. Literally just says transperson. And you think about the word trans, what it means in its Latin origin when you actually define it and look past any perversions in which the world tries to make us believe the word trans stands for, you'll see that the word trans in its Latin origin means beyond. Beyond. So that means you're beyond person, which also means Cosmic Yahusha's beyond person plane is what the last video, or the last Cosmic, or the last Soul Game Saga was. Cosmic Yahusha's beyond person plane. What does it mean to be a beyond person? Or what does it mean to be beyond sendent, or beyond form? You see, transform, beyond form. The word trans simply means beyond. So, if you were to transform your mind, you're beyond forming your mind, if that makes sense to you. What would your mind be like if it was beyond form? Or what would your mind be like if it was beyond you as the person you are? You follow what I'm saying? And in the previous video, I gave a crucial, and or a very, very clear example of what your mind would be like in its beyond state. And the information in which our ancestors and our predecessors have out here for us to utilize to comprehend and grasp this concept. It is information known as the Soul Star Chakra, Crown Chakra, and the Earth Star Chakra in one thing. Think about it, beyond person. So in a sense, those three chakras that I just mentioned are almost as if they are, you can say, you fused with the universe itself. It's almost saying you are the planet. Because remember, the Soul Star Chakra would be the conscious mind of the transcendent plane, or the transperson plane, or the beyond person plane. The Soul Star Chakra is the conscious mind of the beyond person plane. The Crown Chakra is the subconscious mind of the beyond person plane. And the Earth Star Chakra is the physical body of the beyond person plane. You follow what I'm saying? And that there lists off your conscious mind's traits. As above, soul is heaven above, spirit is earth below. If you want to bring the spirit into the physical, which is what I highly recommend, then that would also equate to the soul being the king while the earth is the queen. Now, see, me personally, I don't like to look at any portion of spirituality or what the internal powers or the internal engines and energy and which gives everything its abilities to go. I don't like to see that essence with a gender. But as I said, I respect you all a lot because I'm weaponizing respect to take out disrespect. You want to know why we disrespect each other so much? Because we don't even know how to respect each other. All we know how to do is disrespect each other. You want to know why we only know how to disrespect each other? Because they told us to only disrespect each other. So what if somebody tells us how to respect each other? Or what if somebody just randomly comes out of nowhere and just respects you, whether you want to be respected by him or not? So heaven, king, earth, queen. I don't like to call the planet a gender. I'm just telling you things that I know are going to resonate with you and that'll surge you all to move towards soul supremacy. So, once again, soul, king, earth, queen, soul, heaven, spirit, earth, as above, so below. And if you get rid of the genders, then instead of them being kings and queens, they'll just be what is there, God. Because remember, a husband and a wife leave their parents and become one thing, or the son and the daughter leave their parents and become one unison or one thing with each other. The God they were intended to be before the divine grand larceny. If you want to buy it that way. So, to recap, last video talked about the highest transcendent state, or the transperson state, or the transperson plane, which is of the soul star chakra, crown chakra, and earth star chakra, and all the fundamental aspects and all the weaponry that I'm getting ready to use to trigger those energies to and within you all to move throughout our reality. I'm going to come up with a way to say that faster soon. So for this video right here, it'll be Cosmic Yahusha's egoic plane focus, meaning we're going to focus on Cosmic Yahusha's egoic plane. Now, I want you to know this too before I go on. This diagram that I'm going off of, it's like a the anatomy of the soul, and on the diagram within the book, that seems very limiting to what we really are. It just seems very limiting. I'm going to tell you what it is before I move on. So on the diagram that I'm actually going off of right now, what's on that list is just the crown chakra and the third eye chakra as the transcendent plane or the transperson plane. You follow what I'm saying? So meaning, according to the way this world has the information on who we are set up, it is of the, once again, third eye chakra and the crown chakra alone that are the beyond you. You follow what I'm saying? Now that makes sense. But here's the thing, that's limiting. That's very limiting because it's more to us than just those two being our transcendent plane or being our transperson plane. You follow me? We're more to it than that. There's more to it than that. So the way I have it hooked up versus having the crown chakra and the third eye chakra alone being the transperson plane, I have it set up to where the soul star chakra, crown chakra, and earth star chakra, no third eye chakra in the mix there, as our transperson plane, meaning our highest person plane, meaning our beyond person. You follow what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, our egoic plane is directly responsible for who and or what we are in the physical. It's directly responsible for who and or what we are in the physical. Our egoic plane is. So this video is going to be focusing on Cosmic Yahusha's egoic plane. Remember, last video, Cosmic Yahusha's transperson plane. This video, Cosmic Yahusha's egoic plane. There are 4 planes in total. There's the transperson plane, there's the egoic plane, there's the somatic plane, and there's the somatic environmental plane, or the somatic's environment plane. You follow what I'm saying? Right now, I'm going to cover the second one. This is the second one. I'm going to do the other 2 as well, but here. So for the egoic plane, when you look online and see the anatomy of that soul diagram that I told you about, in the egoic plane, you'll find that they have the throat chakra listed, the heart chakra, and the solar plexus chakra listed as the egoic plane. To me, that doesn't make any sense, and it is limited because the solar plexus chakra is more so in the physical than it is in the in our ego. You follow what I'm saying? In other words, meaning our egoic state is what's giving our solar plexus its abilities to be one. If that makes sense to you. I'm debating with my original idea of where the source energy comes from now. After listening to what you all say about how the source energy may derive from our brain onto the physical, it's starting to make a little bit more sense in that regard, because let's never forget, everybody was so attached to their feelings So it's like, okay, I'm just going to trick talk that part of you into becoming something divine. So the next time you even possibly think about feeling like something, the only thing you'll feel like is what you are, truly good. Now, see, originally I thought that after what I've studied, source comes from this plane that I'm getting ready to tell you about. The source energy comes from this plane that I'm getting ready to tell you about is what I originally thought. But no, source energy comes from the transperson plane. Source energy comes from the transperson plane. That's where it comes from. And the transperson plane just so happens to be the entirety of our actual conscious mind. The entirety of our actual conscious mind. So that means God's source energy derives from our conscious mind, not our hearts. But at the same time, it does, because it's all in the same place and hooked up. Anything that anybody does at any time that they do it is going to help the Divine Father's cause, whether they know it or not. Anything you do at any time that you do it is going to help the Divine Father manifest his cause, or the Divine Creator, or the Divine Spark, or the Holy Spark, or the Universal Spark, or the Life Spark, or the Life Force. Anything you do at any time that you do it is going to help that cause manifest its sovereignty, long story short. So, but for it to make more sense, I think I'm starting to agree with you now when you say God's source energy derives from the conscious mind unto the physical. So that means that it starts from the crown, then to the heart, and then to the physical. The heart is only one thing, and I'm getting ready to tell you about it now. So, that out the way. Once again, online, as far as the soul's anatomy, it is set up in the following order. You only have the throat chakra, the heart chakra, and the solar plexus chakra in the diagram. So the way I'm going to have it set up, so it can make more sense to me, is the third eye chakra, then the throat chakra, and the heart chakra. No solar plexus. I'm going to take the third eye chakra out of the transperson plane and put it into the ego plane, because the third eye chakra, the throat chakra, and the heart chakra are directly responsible for who and or what we are in our reality. Once again, the third eye chakra, the throat chakra, and the heart chakra, Muhammad Ali, are directly responsible for who and or what we are currently in our reality today. Remember what Brother Father Ali was talking about. Brother Father Muhammad Ali, what he was talking about when he was speaking of how a man with a weak heart becomes a weak man, a man with a strong heart becomes a strong man, and a man with a great heart becomes a great man under any circumstances that he ever faces in his life. That he'll ever face in his life. You follow what I'm saying? The heart is directly responsible for who you are. The throat, what things are being said unto you, things that are being put into your mind all day long, those are directly responsible for who and or what you will be in this reality. And then your third eye chakra, which is literally your mind, or the so-called pineal gland of your mind, that is also what receives and or perceives the information and transfers it onto the rest of the flow of you. If that makes sense to you. So, the egoic plane. Here, I just want to tell you what you logically feel like, in a sense. But for starters, like I did in the last one, I might talk about the games, the other Christ games that I had set up to make this part more effective in regards to why I'm targeting it so much. You follow me? So, I have this Super Yahusha 4-7 game, right? Super Yahusha 4-7, Super Jesus 4-7 game. And just like in that Christ game, this here soul game also has all 4 planes being targeted within it. And since this is the egoic plane, which is the second plane, the 4-7 from the egoic plane in the Super Jesus game, I'm going to be borrowing it to make this make more sense to you as I label and describe it. Manipulating a situation to becoming a right one. So, in the Super Jesus 4-7's egoic plane, there is something called the 4 styles of spiritual communication. with 2 outside being spiritual offense and spiritual defense. And then there are the 7 dimensions of thought power, with the 2 outside being the soul star chakra itself and the earth star chakra itself. You follow what I'm saying? Or should I say the 2 outside being the infinite dimensional thinking mind, which is the earth star chakra's capabilities. And then there is the soul star chakra, which is the omnipresent dimensional thinking mind, which is the light's abilities, the light source, our conscious mind. So our conscious mind is omnipresent and our physical reality is infinite. As above, so below though, right? We can see omnipresent wise. Moving forward here, I don't want to add too much to it. So, in that specific game there, the 2 outside are outside for a reason. Because let's never forget, the Super Yahusha 4-7 game was strictly designed to be the spiritual reawakening, meaning bringing you some type of awareness and or acknowledgement to who and or what the real Jesus is for you. You follow what I'm saying? Let's not forget, Jesus is the situation here. To me personally, Yahusha is the situation. The thing is, we are just in the situation known as Yahusha with ignorance. And if we flip that ignorance to awareness, flip the table of ignorance into awareness, those foul belief system pillars from the first part of the game that are plaguing their heart, mind, heart space, the psyche, will be destroyed, as well as the prison in which is giving them the abilities to stand and be there as those foul belief system pillars in the first place will be destroyed. And then the soul's body will reclaim its space once again. So, details. I'm essentially just going to be telling you what you logically feel like. Using spiritual offense, attacking you with the verbal truth. Spiritual defense, defending myself against your stupidity. Spiritual awareness, spiritual expression. No spiritual avoidance and no spiritual depression. I know how to spiritually depress you, so I'm going to choose not to do it to enlighten you. I know what spiritual avoidance gets me. More deprivation. So I'm going to proceed and or pursue the spirit. Gain more spiritual awareness. And I can do this by spiritually expressing, playing my spirit. This is me playing my spirit. Random thought about our dear sisters. My dear sisters, stop being afraid to show off your intelligence. Play your spirits. Stop being afraid to demonstrate your intelligence. Play your spirits. Play your spirits. Don't play your degrees and your so-called white man's education and whatnot. Let's not forget all those things are specifically designed to lock you in place upon spiritual avoidance. Everything of this world is to lock you in on spiritual avoidance. Why are you locking you away from you? You see, this world is shaming you from being the God you truly are. And it just so happens that the soul in you is the God in you. And if you push the soul spirit into the physical, God will be able to see. God will be able to breathe. God will be able to eat. And God will be able to believe. The first step is awareness, though. Awareness of what the truth actually is. So that the lies will no longer be able to stand on us and keep us somewhere they want us to be. This is what you logically feel like. Now the 7, with the 2 outside, are the 7 major chakras. The root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, or the Vishuddha. Then you got the third eye chakra, or the Ajna. Then you have the crown chakra, or the Sahasrara chakra. The root chakra's other name, or Sanskrit name, was the Muladhara, Sanskrit name. The chakras have a Sanskrit name, each of them do. even the soul star chakra and the earth star chakra, Vyapani and Vasundhara. So these energy centers, because a chakra is each of the centers of spiritual power in the human body, usually considered to be 7 in number. Spiritual power, spiritual power. What is spiritual? What does the word spiritual mean? The word spiritual defines as what's relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul, as opposed to physical or material things. What's relating to or affecting, like morals, for example. Morals affect the soul, spirit, soul. The planet affects the spirit, soul. Why do I keep saying affects versus effects? Because the word effects and the word affects sound exactly the same, but have entirely different meanings. Or should I say it like this? Affects target the internal more. Effects target the external more. So in other words, effects usually derive from the spirit. Affects usually derive from the soul. Did you ever notice that both the spiritual realm and the soul realm have things you can feel in them? The spirit is our senses at base. So meaning our spirit is of our abilities to see, smell, taste, hear, and feel. Can you feel me doing this? Can you feel yourself doing this? Did you notice all 5 of your senses, or the majority of them, are within the highest place of you? Beat you the F up in spirit, meaning bring you full awareness of this idea. Did you notice your spiritual senses are all in your head primarily? Your heart sense, which is the egoic plane, is right here. Just a random thought. Back to the game. So, these chakras and these spiritual techniques, so to speak, I'm going to, in this here soul game, going to combine them all together, meaning instead of them being the 2 outside, it's now going to be the 4. And how it's going to look now, when it's all being utilized, spiritual offense and spiritual defense are going to be the primary 4, where the 6 that are trying to come in are going to be the ones we spiritually offend against or spiritually defend against. Spiritual expression and with spiritual awareness against spiritual avoidance and spiritual depression. You follow what I'm saying? Spiritual avoidance causes deprivation in your life. Spiritual avoidance is the avoidance of your basic needs. Remember, everything about this world tells you not to lean to your own knowledge. And you want to know what your own knowledge is, or are? The 7 major chakras that I'm getting ready to talk about now, that you're going to be leaning towards. And then the more you lean towards them, then you will realize we don't even need these either. Because it's all one. It's all one thing. It's all doing one thing. These here 9 chakras, or these here 9 ethereal chakras, once you get to a certain level of knowledge, you'll recognize they're just one. You don't need all the names to label and describe it. You just need to let the energy be, and you be however you wish to be, with these words as your foundation. You'll know they're there. You'll know the concept. You'll know the ideas of them. Don't abandon the information. Just know that it's not something you need to worship. It's just something you should let be. Let this energy be, and you derive from this energy. You derive from this logic. Logic is reasoning conducted or assessed according to strict principles of validities. And I went to go reasonably, or I went to go validate and study these things that I'm telling you about, so I can manipulate this situation that is moving in the wrong direction to a good direction, the right direction, which is what your logical self is trying to drive you to do naturally. Not even trying to, is driving you to do naturally. It's just you got this demon out here who's built this world on top of your natural world. There's a fake artificial world built on top of our natural world. And the more words like these get said out loud and just sprayed off at it, the more it dies or the more it gets destroyed. So here, more of what you logically feel like, good all the time. And every single aspect and or detail of the chakras information that connects to this here logic tells you feel good all the time. Nothing of what the enemy wants you to feel. So all of this information is combined into one. That's essentially the cosmic Yeshua information to tell you how all of this information combined into one is your drive to feel one way and one way only, good and balanced, balanced good, balanced love all the time. I'm shortening it up as much as possible because I don't want to get into too many definitions while I'm already at 25 minutes. Next thing. So, in other words, all of this information, this is what love logically is altogether. The 9 ethereal chakras all together, the spiritual offense, spiritual defense, spiritual awareness, and spiritual expression, all love all together. Spiritual avoidance and spiritual depression comes from hatred. It comes from hatred. But you have to be fully aware of these 6 things and use those 7 to 9 things, or just those 9 things, period, with those first 4 things to combat those 2 things and everything else those 2 things comes with, which is the top part of the game, the transcendence plane of the game, or the transpersonal plane of the game, where you got the 7 foul belief systems that are all standing on the 9, and a mix of the 9 negative principalities, all within this here spirit prison, that with one idea, one technique, flipping the ignorant table over, destroys the prison, destroys the belief system pillars, and scatters the negative principalities about. But they'll still be right here in front of our faces though, because we're all still in the same spirit called reality. And these words are just going to flush you out like a flood being cast out of my mouth to do so. Moving forward now. So, more ways that I'm going to trigger these energies in us to move to and throughout our realities, or to move to and throughout us all into our realities, to move to and throughout us all into our reality. That's how I'm going to say it. I'm going to trigger these energies in us to move to and throughout us all into our reality. So my setup of the egoic plane is as follows. The 3rd eye chakra, the throat chakra, and the heart chakra. I said it many times over. I'm going to say it again. So using my balanced 3rd eye chakra, my spiritually expressing vocal throat chakra, my Ogun-like throat chakra, my Shengo the Thunderer-like 3rd eye chakra, and my Orumala-like heart chakra, fused together in one being, this power. I'm going to use it to trigger these 3 specific energies in our egoic plane, so they'll move to and throughout us all and into our reality as they are, meaning driving the balanced love to and throughout you all into our existence. That's what these words are going to do. And you want to know how they're going to do them? With 5 specific hierarchies. Yeah, I usually talked about 4. I talked about 4 in the previous video, but now that I got more time to talk again, I'm just going to combine all 5 of them and add the 5th one to the top one as well. So check this out, right? The 5 hierarchies. Within just a couple of minutes, I'm going to tell you about these things. There is 412 hierarchies, and there's 116 hierarchy. There are 412 hierarchies and 116 hierarchy. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah, I like using my hands to count and things of the nature. Takes your mind off of, I'm not the one saying it first, right? So here, moving forward, I have the 12 spiritual combos, or the 12 spiritual crop lines, that consist of 3 sets of 4, 8, 12. The spiritual base combos, the spiritual super combos, and the spiritual hyper combos. Then I have The 12 soul words, also broken off into fours. 4, 8, 12. You got the spirit, the soul, the starting soul words, the durational soul words, which is what I'm going to tell you about for this video. I'm going to tell you about the super combos, how they connect with this idea, and then I'm going to tell you about the durational soul words and how they connect with this idea throughout this video here. Next, the 12 divine tasks. The 12 divine tasks, which are of the 4-step divine summoning physically. Then you have the 4 fundamental emotional forces internally or egoic. Then you have the 4 final sagas, transcendence plane wise or transpersonal wise. You follow me? And then the next one, you got the 12 environmental purifiers. The 12 environmental purifiers, which are the 4 rejuvenation, the 4 psyche rejuvenation words. 4 psyche rejuvenation words. Okay, I'll try to keep it in. I'm trying to keep the titles within 4s. You follow what I'm saying? Next, you have the 12 or the 4, let me see. 3-in-1 language, 4-bladed tongue, the 4-bladed sword language, the 4-bladed sword, 4-bladed sword language. Yeah, sure. The 4-bladed sword language. That's 4 words for the one title right there. The 4-bladed sword language. Details for that real fast, because that's also going into this video. It is of the root language, king language, and destruction language, meaning root being starting language, king being future or destiny language, and destruction being current and or duration language. And then the 4th one being the common tongue, what I'm just going to use to combine them all into one and speak to you until you're great again. And then the last part for this 12 here, you have the 4-star character's destination. 4-star character's destination. 4-star ghetto general, like Common's dad said in one of his songs. 4-star ghetto general B. So the 4-star character's destination, I need to come up with some fancier titles for it, and I will soon, but it's about how, it essentially talks about how your first step into the astral mind's destination is going to be the cosmic, celestial, heavenly nirvana. Essentially what it's telling you. Once you take that first step into your 4-dimensional, ethereal thinking mind, once you take that first step into your sacral chakra's 4-dimensional, ethereal thinking mind, your 4-star character's destination will be one, if not all 4 of these words in one. Cosmic, celestial, heavenly nirvana. You follow what I'm saying? So, and then the 5th hierarchy is a 16 hierarchy. It's not a 12 like the first 4 are. It's a 16. And you want to know what they are? The 16 soul supremacy dimensions. That's what they are. The 16 soul supremacy dimensions. What are they? The top 4 for the transcendent plane are of, or the transpersonal's top plane, the 4 are peace, respect, balance, and progression, where you get your abilities from. So yeah, I'm with the source. I'm with the source coming from the brain, not the heart. I'm with that. I'm with it. I'm with it. I get why you say it now. I was thinking of the heart at first because of your feelings and how much I respect you, but at the same time, I need to pretend that I'm a villain that's trying to destroy your feelings in every way possible, because I am. Why? Because the only thing that needs to be in your feelings is your feeling. Why do I say that? Here, you'll see why in a moment. So, the transcendent plane or the transpersonal plane, it's 4, because here's the thing. The 16 is broken off as 4 that'll target each plane. 4, 8, 12, 16. You follow what I'm saying? So 4 for the transperson plane, 4 for the egoic plane, 4 for the somatic plane, and 4 for the somatic environment. The psyche's environment. You follow what I'm saying? So the 4 for the top one, peace, respect, balance, and progression. The 4 for the egoic, peace, love, unity, and advancement. Meaning peace, love, unity, and advancement is what is directly responsible for driving you to being you. It's ultimately what I'm getting at. Peace, love, unity, and advancement is your direct engine. And peace, respect, balance, and progression is what drives it. If I said that correctly. Peace, respect, balance, and progression is the driver of your engines, I'm going to say this first, your engines, peace, love, unity, and advancement energy. If that makes sense to you. And then the last one, remember, these are the 16 soul supremacy dimension words, or 16 soul supremacy dimensions, period. Just say that, right? And then the third one for the somatic, calmness, serenity, love, and righteousness. And then the fourth one for the somatic environment, what's good, beautiful, normal, and natural. Good, beautiful, normal, and natural. 16 words, 16 dimensions. Here's the thing. A dimension, what is a dimension? A measurable extent of some kind, involving length, breadth, depth, or height. You follow what I'm saying? Words can be used to create foundations, especially if the words are being seen as dimensions in a sense. Peace is a dimension to study. Love is a dimension to study. Unity is a dimension to study. Advancement is a dimension to study, or a dimension to measure. Measure. I'm going to say that instead, right? So once again, recap on the 16 soul supremacy dimension words. Soul supremacy dimensions. Transpersonal plane, peace, love, peace, respect, balance, and progression. Egoic plane, peace, love, unity, and advancement. Somatic plane, alone. Calmness, serenity, love, and righteousness. And somatic environment, good, beautiful, normal, and natural. Take these words with you. Whatever your psyche is what your environment will duplicate. Whatever your psyche is set up to be, your environment will duplicate. So your environment has no other option but to be what you are. Whatever you are, your environment will be. And since the people all together are one people in my eyes, whatever the people are currently will also too be the environment, meaning the planet they stand on. So, now, details. I'm just gonna real quick say what all 5 hierarchies in their second row are targeting. You follow what I'm saying? So, the spiritual super combos, what are they? Wait a second. I'm gonna go through the 5 hierarchies quickly and then close out the videos. So, the super spiritual combos, what are they? Global soul liberation, global child manumission, global moral purification, and global balance reestablishing. You follow what I'm saying? Global soul liberation, global moral purification, global soul liberation, global child manumission, global moral purification, global balance reestablishing. Now, here's how it's gonna work. In the spiritual super combos, those 4 words are going to target those 3 chakras. But here's the thing though. Each plane has a psyche environment. Each plane has a psyche environment. You follow what I'm saying? So, the psyche environment for the egoic plane, since this is what I'm on, is the third eye chakra being the conscious mind. The throat chakra being the subconscious mind. The heart chakra being the physical body. The non-physical, metaphysical body, because this is all soul talk here, you dig? And then the environment will be where all 3 of those things in one form are headed towards. Because all 3 of those things are in one form, meaning the conscious mind, subconscious mind, the physical body of each plane is the psyche upon the environment, heading to one direction, what the environment is. If that makes sense to you. So, spiritual super combos. Global soul liberation will be targeting the third eye chakra. Global child manumission will be targeting the throat chakra. Global moral purification, big time, targeting the heart chakra. And those 3 in one form where they are headed towards global balance reestablishing. You see. Now, next hierarchy. The soul duration words. The 4 soul duration words are part of the 12 soul word hierarchy are as follows. So, it's soul principle, soul ethics, soul balance, soul tranquility. I believe I said them out of order though. So soul tranquility was going to be targeting the third eye chakra. No, soul balance, then soul tranquility. There we go. So soul balance targeting the third eye chakra, as several on the mind, which shall come out the heart. Soul balance was targeting the third eye chakra. Soul tranquility targeting the throat chakra. Then you have soul principle, principle heart of hearts, targeting the heart chakra. I pray this is how I said it the first time. And then you have soul, soul principle, soul pride, soul ethics. I hate it when I lose track of my own damn game, man. I really do. But it's just, there's a lot going on. A lot to think about all at once. So it was soul balance, soul tranquility, Soul Principle, and Soul Ethics. Those were the 4 that I'm going to use. Soul Balance, targeting the third eye chakra to trigger its energies to move to and throughout you all into our reality. Then Soul Tranquility, targeting the throat chakra, big time, to trigger its energies to move to and throughout you all into our reality. And then Soul Principle, Principle Heart of Hearts, targeting it to trigger its energies to move to and throughout us all into our reality as the Soul Principle it is. And then Soul Ethics, which those 3 in one form are headed towards. Next, before I run out of time again, and it cuts out on me again, you have the 12 divine tasks, the 4 in here, the 4 fundamental emotional forces to gain awareness of. Just gaining awareness of them. It's a task. You follow me? A divine task. The positive energy, the positive human energy emotion, the negative energy human emotion, or the balanced human emotion, and then you have the quiescent or dead human emotion. That's simple. Gain awareness of what those are and how they work in reality. Moving forward. Now, the 4th hierarchy, which are the 12 environmental purifiers, the second set of 4. What are they called? The four-bladed tongue language, four-bladed tongue language, or four-bladed tongue sword. I need a title, man. If only I had what I needed to. Here, the four-bladed tongue language, which are the root tongue, talking about the start or the past, the knowledge of past, being able to apply that in any conversation. Then you have king tongue, which is destiny, or I'm going to say destruction tongue because it's durational. Start, duration, finish. Start, duration, finish. You got destruction tongue, which would be the durational tongue to use right now, the durational language, because right now you all need to have these foul you need to have these foul principalities plaguing your mind, heart, psyche eliminated. Right now, pronto, immediately, as soon as possible, whatever it takes. I'm doing whatever it takes. Third, you have this king tongue, where the heart chakra is headed towards. And then 4th, common tongue. So what these 3 things in one will be for you. So now let's target them. Root tongue, targeting the third eye chakra. Destruction tongue with the throat chakra, my Ogun, turning you all into the weapon you need to be to slay the darkness plaguing thy mind, heart spaces, thy mind, heart, psyche. You follow what I'm saying? Next, you have king tongue, the heart chakra, targeting the heart chakra's energy to trigger it and move into and throughout our reality. And then common tongue, where those 3 in one form are headed towards, which you will begin ready to use commonly to liberate your family from this madness. You follow me? And then the final thing to talk about, the 16 soul dimensions, soul supremacy dimensions. The second set, the one that targets what's going to be moving to and throughout you all. It's just simply peace, love, unity, and advancement. As a matter of fact, shalom, shalom, shalom. The egoic plane, what you logically feel like, is of simply peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.